Change is inevitable. It can be scary, it can be exciting, it can be both at the same time, but it is inevitable. And just like the lives of our characters have changed since the beginning of this podcast, so does the podcast itself change. And with this change, the duties of Dungeon Master are going to fall to me, at least for now. And I'm really excited and also a little bit scared, but I do know you're going to want to hear what happens next. Previously on Party in Peril. I was human once. A knight, actually, if you can believe it. I fought the Dark Elf. Gave him the scars you see on my face. And he used some kind of magic against me, ripped our souls apart. And I woke up in this body. A stranger. I had a family, a wife, a daughter. They fled with him thinking he was me. You know, the cruelest part of it all is I do find myself becoming him more and more. Sometimes I think his thoughts, his muscle memory moves my bodies in ways that are foreign to me, and there are times I feel I remember less of my humanity. I can't remember their names. My family, I mean, or their faces. Can't even remember my own. That's why I drink. It slows the process a bit. And I would rather drink myself into oblivion before I forget my family. You know, there's somewhere out there with him. Well, with me. I have no idea the danger they're in. And maybe I deserve it. I did some horrible things, Jack, to maintain my status as a knight, to keep my family safe. Maybe I brought it upon myself, but I'm going to find them and reverse this curse put upon me. I kind of like fumble on my words a little bit, like trying to find the way to say it. If I ever start acting more out of the ordinary, becoming maybe more ruthless, using more magics, if I start seeming like someone else, I need you to do two things. For one, I need you to kill me. And for two, I need you to find a man named Halsey and find out if he has a woman and child with him, and if he does, I need you to kill him.
Halsey.
Somewhere below the streets of Fangor Highland, a cloak man finishes his trek through the sewers and opens a door. He grunts at the smell and grabs a torch from the wall within. Amid the ambience of dripping water and the occasional shuffle of some small creature hiding from the torchlight, he makes his way through a winding labyrinth. As he draws nearer to his goal, he passes some guards. Some of them are men wearing blue sashes and sharpening their swords. Others are bestial in nature, part human, part something else. Rows of coffins are built into the halls, dozens of them. And through all of this, the man doesn't hesitate. He walks with purpose. Eventually, he reaches a large ornate door decorated with various carvings. At the center, a gilded crescent moon with a drop of blood hanging from the tip is adorned with a ruby inlay. Two goat-like men on either side of the door step aside, and it slowly opens as if on its own, and the man steps in. The door closes behind him as if invisible hands were carefully applying pressure. A pale elven woman, white as snow and divinely beautiful, sits on a throne of wood and bronze ahead of him, in a chamber surrounded by dozens of others with similar features, all conversing or sipping on goblets of red liquid. The woman stands, and the room falls silent. Those surrounding her in the room retreat to the shadows beyond the torchlight. The woman stands, and her white sheer dress doing little to hide her form beneath, her head's adorned with a simple tiara of the palest blue, with a dark red ruby resting at its center, above her equally red eyes. The man bows and pulls back his hood. He's pale, with scaled skin and piercing yellow eyes, and long black hair with hints of blue as it touches any hint of light. He looks up at the woman before him and says,
"For the blood and our own."
"For the blood and our own,"
she replies with a smile.
"Lady Anessa, the shipment to Pondalus has been delayed, and the Jarl, Lord Helmath, loses patience. He's threatening to abandon our agreement, and instead pushes the vote for the Lord Garen, the Jarl of Centris, who has promised Pondalus more slaves for the mines."
"Who is in charge of our delivery?"
"Sir Halsey, and the Pondalans used a captain out of Port Whitley, who has a reputation for not asking questions. However, it seems the outcasts we've been seeking, the ones with the coin, boarded the same ship after the arrangements had already been made."
The woman stiffens, her red eyes narrowing.
"How do you know of this? Are you certain it's them?"
"Yes, my lady. Our spies and the captain's crew verified their likeness and alerted us by scrying glass. They plan to destroy the navigation tools and force the ship into a port near Brashpool. However, they were overtaken by creatures of the sea and put off course."
"Where are they now?"
"Salt Shore, my lady. Sir Halsey assures me he has laid a trap that one of their number cannot refuse."
"Very well. Obtaining the coin is priority, but demand that Sir Halsey ensure the shipment to Pondalus arrives as soon as the coin is ours, and continue to delay the vote for king by whatever means necessary. We are nearly at checkmate. We cannot afford to lose a single step."
"I have almost finished translating the inscriptions from the urns retrieved within the tomb. It has been difficult. The cipher within the staff was partially eroded. But the language is celestial, not spoken in aeons. Though I can understand much of it, speaking the incantations correctly will require more study once we have the final part coin to add to the other two. However..."
"Speak quickly, Seditious."
"I fear there is another piece needed to unlock the power we seek."
"A fourth coin?"
"No, my lady. Something else. But I swear by the blood and our own, I will find it. The power of Leith will be yours."
Jack, Avador, Sheppard, and Sarah stand before the dilapidated storage house, with the Drow family eager to reunite. And though all of you are tired and several of you are severely wounded, a man stands between you in that reunion. The wind howls past your ears, occasionally interrupted by the sound of the nearby waves slamming themselves against the rocky shores of Salt Shore. Freezing rain batters against you, and you can feel the sting as the icy bits scrape across your faces. The large figure steps forward, the edges of his hardened face and heavy plate mail bearing the sigil as a hand of the Ecclesia. Sheppard limps forward, blood dripping from somewhere beneath his armor, and he steps between the figure and the drow woman you rescued from even more Hands of the Nine. I recognize that face, friend, and I'd like it back. Sarah looks over and says, Sheppard, who is this man?
I've never seen this guy before. I have no idea.
The man laughs, and he says,
Sheppard, is that what you've taken to calling yourself? Have you forgotten who you really are? Sir Edmund Halsey, the witch breed who dreamt of becoming a knight? Though I suppose that's me now, in a way, wearing your skin.
In shock, you can see it just register across Sheppard's face, and he becomes as pale as someone with very ebony skin can become. Like, you can see like this sickening feeling kind of crossing his features. And the man continues and says,
Oh yes, after taking over your body, I've been privy to all the tiny things that make you tick. The determination of leaving behind the teachings of your coven to become a knight, and then a hand. And the sickness in your belly when you were commanded to kill the wielders of magic. The guilt that ate at you as you led the crusades yourself to steer them away from your family and your coven. But then the bloodlust you began to revel in. I saw that firsthand. I'd hope you'd remember all this years later. I mean, that's why I'm here, why I came to you, and why I took your family and your life. It was only fair, after all. Look on, Sir Halsey, and admire your great works.
And with a wave of his hand, you all feel a sickening sense of dread, as if a veil of darkness were suddenly removed from you, revealing what was hidden beneath it. And Jack, you see little Keithan holding out his hand, palm up, with the ball bearings loosely held. And then you hear the ball bearings clatter to the icy ground as they slip through the spaces where flesh used to be. The rotting cadavers of the two children begin to lurch forward towards you, their rotted teeth gnashing like a rabid animal. And the woman you believed you risked your lives to save grips onto Sheppard with her bony fingers, wrapping deep into his cloth as she rips a chunk of flesh from his ear. Roll initiative.
Wow. Dang.
So this was all fake.
It was like illusion or what?
They were illusions, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. +3, 18.
18.
Oh, wow.
So are you saying Sheppard is Sir Edmund Halsey?
That's his real name, yes.
That's his real name.
Mm-hmm.
Did he know that?
No, he did not.
Oh.
He did not remember that. Okay.
And the human that is in, basically, that just played a whole face-off Nicolas Cage and Travolta situation.
There may have been some face-off kind of influencing this whole thing.
Where they're doves flowing.
You two roll against each other real quick. I just want to see who's going to go first.
I got 13 on that one.
17.
Dang it, should I?
Okay.
Always got to one-up me.
I rolled my bad ones as much as I could.
I request that you don't put fart gas in here again. Not yet.
No farts.
In this event where we didn't heal up, would she have to stick with the same spells also?
Yeah.
I mean, not that we even remember what those spells were, but
Except for the gas one.
The gas one, I remember.
If
If you're not sure like what's been accounted for, then we'll just go ahead and let her start fresh. Otherwise, if you have any that are marked off already, let's keep those marked off. Basically, I want you guys exhausted for this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fart gas expended.
Farts have been expended. Okay, so Avador, you are up first. So basically, how it looks is you have the big Halsey guy and the 2 children zombies directly across from all you guys. And I would say that you and Jack and Sarah are probably all 3 in a straight line right behind Sheppard, who has got one of the zombies, the one that was the female drow, is attacking him right now.
So the female, I guess the one that's pretending to be his wife, that's the one that's attacking him?
Yeah.
And then where are the 2 kids?
They are a little bit beyond that. So they're just like basically kind of across from where Sheppard is getting attacked.
And Sir Halsey is right by the kids?
Yeah.
Can you describe the scene as to the cave, like what's in our surroundings?
Sure thing. So behind you guys is mostly just kind of rocks and just kind of outcropped from like the edge of a cliff. I'm going to say behind the zombies and Halsey is that storage place where there's like some wooden crates and things like that, like lots of dilapidated things. To your left, I'm going to say that there's actually kind of a ledge that kind of drops off. And so on the other side of that ledge is like the actual like sea itself kind of crashing against the rocks, which is why it's like really loud out there and you can hear it so well. So you're real close to this cliff ledge. There's a few boxes and stuff around, like I said, but those are right now kind of not very close to you. Though if you wanted to maneuver behind one, you could reach it within 30 feet. But that would take up like your whole move action if you wanted to do any other movements. You'd still be able to attack though.
Just making sure I'm not going to try and grow some spikes where you got hurt last time. It's like, what can I do?
Or he got dead multiple times.
Basically. Okay, I want to use my flame blade.
Oh, okay.
And so it is, which is also a casting time of 1 bonus action. All right. To evoke a fiery blade in your free hand, the blade is similar in size and shape to the scimitar, and it lasts for the duration. If you let go of the blade, it disappears, but you can evoke the blade again as a bonus action. You can use your action to make a melee spell attack with the fiery blade. On a hit, the target gets 3d6 fire damage.
Dang, okay.
So, and this is within a 10-foot radius that I can reach. Bright light is a 10-foot radius. Dim light, additional 10 feet.
Okay, so you could hit that zombie by Sheppard where you are now. Otherwise, if you want to hit any of the other people, you'll need to move forward a bit.
Okay, so
to summon the blade is a bonus action, and then her action would be using the blade.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
15.
You're gonna hit that zombo. So you definitely hit that zombie really hard. So like Avador sticks a hand up in the air, and this fiery scimitar, if that's how you pronounce it, shows up in her hand, and she just slams it down on this zombie.
Can she do the thing where she like lifts her hand up in the air and then pulls like a flame out of it?
Out of her palm. Oh god,
right, yeah.
That's sweet. Yes, I love that idea. Just like both hands up and just you can just hear the blade ignite out of the hand.
That's exciting.
Okay, so you are rolling 3d6, right?
Yes.
Fire damage? Okay, go ahead and roll that.
Which zombie are you attacking?
I am attacking
the woman.
The woman.
His beloved ex-wife. Just this, right?
Yeah, but 3 times.
Okay. 4.
Hey.
5.
Dang.
13.
So you hit the zombie with that, and just their back is just immediately scorched, and one of its arms is just completely like burned up and falls off, and it kind of like reels back with this sickening scream and lets go of Sheppard. We'll say that the arm that burned up was the one that was grabbing him, and just a little bit of his cloak gets singed too, and Sheppard's like, oh jeez, come on, like Avador, watch it, jeez.
Tried to save your life, boy.
Jack, you're up.
I'm going to pull out my short bow real quick and just take a shot at the same target, since I clearly saw that she is hurt and is kind of reeling over that. Let me see what I can do.
Okay.
So I will use that, roll my... and how far away were we from them?
Are we like 10 feet or something?
You're only maybe 5 feet away from that zombie. And you're going to be about probably about 25 feet from the others.
Okay, well then scratch that. Let me just pull out my dagger and short sword combo and go in there. My scimitar? I don't know.
Scimitar? I don't know. Why do they make words hard to say?
All
Oh
right.
yeah, is it? Okay, so I'll pull out my scimitar, and since I am attacking from, I guess, behind and her attention is drawn, would I get a sneak attack bonus on that?
Yes.
Or I guess since she's also in melee range with those others, so.
Oh, it's pronounced scimitar.
Scimitar.
That's what I thought.
Okay, scimitar.
Or scimitar. I don't know. I'm going to go scimitar.
I want to say scimitar. That sounds cool.
Scimitar
All
sounds
right.
cool. Yeah.
So my initial attack, short sword, was, what was that? 8 plus 3.
You hit.
All right, I got a 13 on the other dagger.
Both hit.
On the dagger roll. So, okay. Then damage-wise, 1d6 plus 3 for the scimitar. Scimitar? Yeah.
Scimitar.
So 8 base damage. And, okay, how are you going to do
that
crit
thing is
or
done.
Sneak attack? Okay.
That 8 base damage is going to finish it off. So, here, I want you to tell me how Jack finishes this zombie off.
Okay, so she's reeling from Avador's fiery blade that she...
Yeah.
How did you slash her with it?
Let's see. I pulled it out. What does a scimitar look like?
It's like a pirate sword.
Yeah,
kind of.
you think of a pirate sword, that's what it looks like. It's like that curve kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I pull it out from my hands, and then I'm going to just kind of like flip, almost like a baton, just kind of like a swoosh to get like
a sweeping strike.
like a sweeping to get her hand off of Sheppard. So when it does that,
Yeah, that arm is burned off. It is gone.
yeah. So it's just
So she's just like shrieking. That zombie's just screaming up in the air, all burned up.
So she does that, and then while her attention is drawn towards Avador, I go up from behind with my scimitar out. My dagger's out too, but it's not really going to do anything because I immediately just stab her straight through the back with the scimitar, not really thinking it's going to finish her off yet, but, here we go. It's not really like a through the heart or anything strike. It's just like basic through the back strike.
Okay.
And how does, do they, turn to dust? Like, what happens at
We'll
that
say
point?
that, so she lets out, one more shriek, and then, when you shoved it through, it kind of, shattered, that part of the spine and the ribs and stuff. So, some pieces kind of fall, and she just kind of collapses down in, a heap of, bones and stuff. Just real dried up. So not quite dust, but she's kind of just a pile at this point. Sheppard's kind of stepping around it ugh. Can someone sweep that up? We need anyone have a dustpan or a broom? Halsey sees that, and he and the two other zombies begin to lurch forward, and he looks angry because he just basically saw, Sheppard had already killed his wife in the past, and now he just saw her remains basically just get burned and then torn to pieces, just fall into the ground. So he steps forward. He's going to attack Sheppard. He's going to use, he has a huge sword, like this big great sword. He's going to use that. And let's see if that does hit. Ooh, okay. He's going to do 2d6 plus 3 damage. Oh, God. He just got max damage on that. So, Sheppard just took a ton of damage and he is extremely hurt. Just kind of like reeling, basically. Like he drops to one knee and you can see just Sheppard is just bleeding out everywhere through like his armor and everything. Like he doesn't have much left in him.
Oh, man.
One of the zombies, we'll say that this one is, this was Keithan. Keithan? It was Keithan. That was his name, not Keithan. Yeah. He's going to go for you, Jack. Little Keithan.
Oh. Man, I tried to help you.
I gave you my ball sack.
Hey.
I wanted to play with your balls. Does a 13 hit you?
13?
Yes.
It does not.
Okay, so the little zombie that used to be Keithan is like kind of like scrabbling forward, but gets tripped up a little bit over some of the like debris and stuff that's on the ground from this dilapidated storage area and doesn't quite reach you just yet. Sheppard is up next. He's going to so he's just kind of on his knees and he's looking at Halsey and he's like, I don't remember killing your family, but I knew I did some terrible things and I'm sorry for that. I can't change it. But you took my family, and where's the cycle going to end if we just keep doing this to each other? Tell me where my family is. And Sheppard casts Eldritch Blast against Halsey. And that is absolutely going to hit because he just crit.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so he hits Halsey for 14 damage. Halsey kind of like stumbles backwards a little bit, just kind of like unsure of what happened. Like that shouldn't have hit him as hard as it did. So he's a little like caught off guard. The other zombie, the one that was the girl, is going to go after you, Avador. That's definitely not going to hit. That was a 5.
Yeah.
That one just like trips over some stuff and literally falls on the ground and is just getting back up. And that was its entire move.
Tripped over her mother's ashes.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Sarah's gonna go up and try to help Sheppard out. She doesn't have any heals left, so she's kind of like there's nothing that she can really do except.
Can I give her my herbalism kit?
Do you have one?
I do.
Okay, yeah. If you wanna, you could toss her the herbalism kit, or we'll have Sarah grab it from you as an action, and then we'll see if she can try to give Sheppard a little bit of healing, and she'll do that for her turn.
Awesome.
Shepherd's gonna get a little bit of health back. He's gonna get 7 health back, which is good compared to
0.
Yeah.
It's better than dead.
Right.
Okay, so that means we're at the top of the round. So Avador, you're actually up now.
Awesome. So is the little girl in front of me still?
Yeah, she kind of stumbled in front of you a little bit. Yeah, so she's right in front of you.
How long does that flame blade last? Is that a 1 round thing or?
No, I think
Let's see.
So frame concentration up to 10 minutes. Blade is to the side. It lasts for the duration.
So
if you let go of the blade, it disappears, but you can evoke the blade again as a bonus action.
Oh, cool.
So
you just have that blade now,
yeah,
right?
She's pretty much got it for a while because so something I learned recently is that like a round of combat is supposed to only equal like 6 sequels. In real time or something.
Is a long time.
So 10 minutes, you have got this for a long time.
Well, I would like to use my flame blade again and to swoosh over and hit her.
Okay.
So you're just like a flame dancer right now. You're just
Basically.
like spinning it around.
Destroying things, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at a rave and I'm just like moving my fucking like lights around. Yeah. This is
like I told her
kind.
not to take drugs before the battle.
Avador pulls out like a light up pacifier that's like flashing lights
Right.
while she's waving this
I'm a
glowy
candy
stick around.
kid. All right, so I'm going to roll.
Yeah.
12
Plus 6 again. So
6.
18.
That hits.
Hits. All right. And then I'm going to roll my 3d6. 6. 5. That's 11. 12.
Okay. All right. That zombie, you hit her really hard with that sword and she catches fire a little bit and she's still like able to stand, but she's charred a lot. She's burning. Her movement is slowed a little bit. But she's still like gnashing her teeth at you like, all right, bitch. Like if that's how it's going to be, like I'm coming.
That is how it's going to be.
That's how it's going to be. All right.
As you dance around.
As you're dancing. Yeah. Jack, it's your turn.
Okay. I will return the favor to that little boy, Keithan, who attacked me.
Okay.
And yeah, I will just swing my scimitar at him.
Okay.
And see what I can do. 15. Does 15 hit?
Yes.
4 damage.
Did you want to hit with another weapon too?
Yeah, if I can hit with my how does a dual wielding attack work? What's the disadvantage?
There's really no disadvantage to it. I mean, if you have the dual wielding trait, then yeah, you just roll for both weapons.
18 just off the bat, plus
definitely
6,
hits.
so 24. And then,
yeah, you definitely hit.
Damn.
Let's see.
Give me my balls back, kid.
Yeah.
Give me my balls, kid.
Where's my ball sack? And then,
I trusted you.
all right, and then just 3 extra damage.
So, I mean, you definitely damaged him a little bit, but like he's really not slowing down. Like he's just like scrambling at you.
So what I did, just to describe the attack a little bit, just like if I'm holding my hands almost crossed and the swords and the scimitars in the right hand, I kind of like slash it outward. After that action, we'll immediately just kind of pull the dagger and kind of jab towards him. So,
ooh,
yeah, not a lot of damage, but enough to kind of fend him off a little bit.
Yeah, you still stuck him a little bit. You broke a few ribs off, which he's just kind of like upset about, and he's just not having a good time. He's just like, come on, man.
Not having a good day.
Yeah. All right, Halsey's up, and he's going to hit Sheppard again. He does not hit. So we'll say that he was so thrown off by the amount of power that Sheppard put into that Eldritch Blast that he did not expect Sheppard to be able to like figure all that stuff out in a body that didn't belong to him. So he's kind of like a little bit like taken aback and he's a little distracted now. He's not focused. So he swings his greatsword at Sheppard. Sheppard's having been healed by Sarah a little bit can dodge out of the way right there. Keithan's turn. Now, you just damaged him, so he's going to go back after you again, Jack. Well, Keithan rolled a natural 1. As
He hurt himself somehow.
As
Did he
Keithan
fall?
runs at you, his real slender ankle bone just snaps and just gives out below him, and he just kind of falls to the ground and ends up doing 2 damage to himself. So
Perfect.
He stabbed himself with his own broken ribs.
Yeah, his rib impales him.
Sheppard is going to try to hit Halsey again. And that is a hit. And he's using his rapier. This is the one, guys. I got it.
You got it.
Okay, so he does 8 damage with the rapier. So Halsey gets hit again and is just like, thinking that this was going to be an easy win. Like he thought he had this huge elaborate trap and now he's just like, you can see on his face, he's getting a little like, he's a little weary now because he's like, this isn't going where I thought it would be. But Sheppard yells again, like, where
is my family?
I left them back home in Eslim years ago, as your wife began to get wise after the first several times I had her. But that daughter of yours, she's a sharp one, and powerful, more powerful than you would have ever been. But we'll see how far that power gets her as the hands will be descended upon that village in less than a fortnight to slaughter all of them, just like you led them to slaughter my family. I've never been a man of much creativity, but I do have to say, this has turned out to be quite poetic. With that said, that little exchange, the girl zombie's turn. She's still going after Avador. Well, that's a 12, so I'm gonna guess that doesn't hit you, Avador.
No, that actually does.
It does.
Yeah, because I
Ooh.
have any.
Okay. All right. So she's going to she's just gonna like
armor.
slam you with like her clawed, like bony fingers and stuff.
I use my flame with sword to just like, hey, get away from me, bitch. Hey,
Help! Stop it!
yeah.
You wouldn't notice. You're still dancing around anyway.
That's true. I'm high.
It didn't hit you for that much though. It only hit you for about 5 damage. Sarah's turn. Sarah's gonna go after Halsey, but she does not hit. She swings her mace, and after that little exchange with Sheppard, kind of like throwing everyone off about, you know, he's sending the hands of the Ecclesia to go slaughter this entire village of witches and people that Sheppard knew in his former life. Sarah's a little thrown off that it's the hands that are doing it and that this guy attacking them is technically a hand. So she completely misses. Avador, it's your turn.
Get off me, girl. Gonna swing again. E.
What you
8.
got?
8.
8. Yeah, you actually hit.
Ooh,
Oh, wow.
That was shocking.
Zombies aren't very sturdy.
6.
Just throws it off the table.
Yep.
Almost.
9.
Avador, what does it look like when you destroy this zombie?
Die, trash.
He got like so southern all of a sudden. Die, trash.
Die, trash.
Now you're a Southern Belle.
So she was trying to distract me by like hitting me. I just sort of like swipe and get her head and her neck off. Just and so
right.
she just dies immediately.
Yeah, the head just comes flying off with that swing of your flame sword.
Yeah, and I'd like her head to be on fire when it lands on the
It's
ground.
on fire. It's just a flaming
Yes,
head on the ground, sitting on top of a little pile of bones, and it, the fire spreads, and just you have a tiny little bonfire going now to warm you up. I mean, it's all icy cold out there, and now you can get a little warmth. Just
I like the idea, or not even the idea. I just like your request of like, I would like her head to be burning on the ground, please. That's the kindest anyone's ever asked for violence.
so nice.
Please make that happen.
So considerate. Jack, you're up, and you're warmed by this nice little fire over to the side.
Yeah. It catches my attention for a second. I'm like, okay, focus. Okay.
My hands are so cold.
Go back on the attack against Keithan with my first with my scimitar. Well, they're not very sturdy, you say. I got a 9 on the first one.
Yep, hits.
Okay. So I will just roll that damage first. 6 damage on that one. Then do my quick little bonus attack. So 15 on the second one to attack. And then 4 extra damage. So
you hit him pretty hard. He is like just barely, his body is barely holding together, but he is still like, he's like dragging that one leg behind him, and he's kind of like crawling forward, just inch by inch, just pieces of him just starting to fall apart.
yeah, I like that imagery of him just kind of falling apart as he's still.
His jaw is kind of hanging, like cocked a little bit to one side, just hanging open, and he's just shrieking at you as he moves forward.
Ooh.
Halsey is up. He's still determined to hit Sheppard, and he does. He just slams this great sword, swings it sideways, just
clubs Sheppard right in his left arm, and you can just see like Sheppard's just shoulder and collarbone just crack, just like his arms just hanging there very, very limply, and he falls to one knee again. Sheppard's still alive, but he is once again barely alive. It's Keithan's turn. That poor little thing is just still... Somehow he's still kicking. Jack, 16. Does that hit?
Oh, that does, yes.
Okay. So Keithan's ready for some revenge here. Even though you did give him balls to play with, he's just like, he's not being really appreciative.
I'll be taking those balls back, thank you.
He hits you for 7 damage.
Okay, so I just got a move at 5th level called Uncanny Dodge.
Okay.
So when an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to halve the attack's damage against you. So I'm assuming it would round up. So at that point, it would be 4 damage.
It would do 4 damage. Yep, that's right.
Okay.
You want to use that? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to use that. So
so only 4 damage to you.
With reactions, is that once per round? So if I got multiple attacks against me, it would only work
just the
first
one
attack.
Yeah,
got it. Okay.
So you see his clawed hand coming at you, and you kind of dodge a little bit. You're not quite able to get completely out of the way, but it's sort of like a glancing blow and just like hits off of your shoulder. So it, like the claws kind of dig into your skin a little bit, but it could have been so much worse if it would have hit you.
Yeah, that feels very roguish to me. I like that dodge ability.
Sheppard's turn. He's in a bad way. He's just kind of gonna try to Eldritch Blast again against Halsey here. And he misses. So he sends his blast, but he's just so beaten down, like there's just not enough left in Sheppard to really keep it going, and just completely misses, like not even close. Sarah is up, and Sarah hits. She slams this mace right into Halsey's chest, and you can see his plate mail start to crack a little bit. Just hits him so hard. Definitely does some damage to him, but he's still feeling pretty ready to fight. So doesn't look like he's slowing down at all, but his plate mail did crack right down the center of his chest. Avador, you are up.
Am I close enough to attack Halsey?
Yes.
All right. That's who I'm going after.
It's Halsey and then the little Keithan zombie still standing.
I'm going to go towards Halsey. 17 plus 6.
Yes, that hits.
23, yeah.
All right.
Definitely hits.
So 10, 16.
16.
Wow. Avador's, you were using the Scimitar again, right? I forgot how to say it again already. Scimitar? God.
Scimitar, yeah.
Scimitar.
Use your fiery Scimitar. You aim right for that crack that Sarah put in the chest of his armor, and you could just feel you can see the fire just kind of suck into it as it hits and disperse through his body. So like he just gets burned all over the place when you hit him. And he is very bloodied.
Nice.
Jack, you're up.
Okay, so I'm just going to hopefully finish this guy off with my scimitar first. With Keithan, so 13 plus 3, so 16 hits.
Yes.
And then 7 damage.
He's done. So how do you envision this going?
Okay, so I thought a little bit about this. So I'm going to, since I saw that his legs are kind of weakened at first, I'm gonna just like do a slash through those first to just try to down him. You know, I guess he also crumples like the woman did in a similar way. So I slash his legs out from under him. He falls to the ground and he's down for the count. And then since I was reading this while we were doing the other attacks, but I can still use my bonus action to attack another target.
Yes,
if he's not in melee range, he is at least in throw range. Since it's a dagger, I can throw it. So is Halsey in melee range or is it throw range?
He's in melee range. Yeah,
okay, then I'm going to also turn and jab at him with the dagger. So let me see if I can hit with that. Ooh, yeah. So dang, that was almost a 20. 19 plus 6,
definitely
so 25.
Yeah, you definitely hit him.
And then it'll be light damage, but it'll be something. 4 damage.
So you in addition to that, where his plate mail opened up and he had been burned up, you just jab that dagger right into that opening, right in his chest, and he falls to one knee. And you can tell like he is literally like blood is starting to just pour out of his mouth, and you know that this is the end for this guy. But he looks up at Sheppard, and you can hear him kind of start whispering something that just doesn't make sense to you. It's a language that neither of you guys know. The blood dripping from his mouth is like mixing with the icy rain and just kind of running all through his armor, which is kind of smoking from all of the fire damage that he took. And his eyes turn like this wild red, like an untamed fire, and he begins chanting more and more. And then he screams, and at the same time, you see Sheppard hit the ground and scream also. And you can kind of see this, almost like the image of an elf, but made of fire, start crawling its way out of Halsey. And likewise with Sheppard, you can see the image of a man pulling itself out of Sheppard, but also like you can see it's kind of being dragged by its arms like it's shackled or something. Like it's not trying to leave, whereas the elf one is definitely trying to pull itself out of this body. And you, Jack, you knowing Sheppard's story because he told you what happens, you know that this guy is trying to do it again, trying to swap the souls to put Sheppard in this body that's dying.
No, we need to stop him. He's trying to take his body back.
What?
He's trying to put Sheppard in the damaged body. He's going to kill Sheppard if he goes back in it.
Are you saying they're exchanging the souls within the bodies?
Yes, that's what I understand. We have to stop this. And I wouldn't know necessarily how to stop it, but at least putting it out there.
Here's what we'll do. We're gonna try this. Sarah's gonna step up and say, I don't have a lot of magic left, but I feel like if we can concentrate enough, I might be able to try to direct any magic that we might have towards just interrupting this thing. And so let's have everyone make a charisma, just a straight up charisma, a saving throw actually.
13 from me.
18 for me.
Jack, you don't have a lot of magic to offer, so it's just not working so well from you. But Sarah, basically Avador just kind of, you can almost like feel the magic kind of pouring off of Avador's body, and kind of Sarah's just kind of has a hand on her shoulder and is just trying to help absorb this thing to kind of aim whatever magic she and Avador have just right at the middle of this spell to try to interrupt it. It would not have worked with Sarah or Jack's rolls, but yours was high enough, Avador. Uh-huh. So this bolt of almost like divine looking golden energy hits the center of these two fiery representations of those two right as they're about to like cross past each other, and they both just go flying right back into their bodies from where they came from. Sheppard falls backward, hits the ground. Halsey, you can see that he's crawling forward a little bit and he's cursing at you, and then eventually just stops crawling and hits the ground and is no longer moving.
Man.
Halsey's dead.
Sheppard almost got Captain Ginyu'd.
I know.
Sheppard reaches in his, he's got like a little pouch on him, and he pulls this pouch up, this leather pouch, and hands it to you, Jack. And he says, "Open this and pour it on his blasted body."
I do that. No, I open it up. I open it up and pour it on him, yeah.
And then Sheppard looks at Avador and he says, "Light him up."
I'm going to put my flame blade down and touch it like on its body, and then
boosh, just this huge flame just immediately engulfs this body, and it just starts burning. But Sheppard immediately hits the ground and is not moving.
No.
Sheppard!
And he is not responding at all. Sarah jumps down to his side and is just kind of like taking a pulse, and she's like, "He's still alive. I don't know why he's not responding."
I'm down there while she's done it, kind of like shaking him a little bit, like not like violently, but just enough to try to like shake him awake.
And nothing. He's not moving. All right. This is Sarah speaking. Just because I'm not used to doing Sarah's voice, so I'm like trying to find something.
Hi, Sarah.
Help me carry him. Let's get him back to the ship.
I try to help lift as much as I can.
Okay.
Anyway.
Sarah kind of hoists him up a little bit. She's kind of taking sort of the bulk of him, like kind of under his arms and stuff like that, and you're kind of supporting his legs a little. And you guys start heading back towards the ship, where Captain Stein and his men were going to start unloading the barrels.
Right.
Since Jack had been scouting a location to store them. However, you see that some of the barrels have started being unloaded. You can kind of see a lot of them actually still up on the deck, but they're out of the hold where they were. And once you cross the little plank onto the ship, you see that you've interrupted some sort of argument between Captain Stein and a lot of his men. You see that Stein is flanked only by 2 of his crew members. One of them, you recognize both of them. They've been around on the ship, just kind of doing their shiply duties, mopping, tying knots, whatever people do on ships. I imagine just tying knots all day.
Speak like sailors.
Yeah. One of them's a halfling woman, and she's got some knives drawn, and then there's a half-elf male with an arrow notched, pointing at who you recognize as the first mate, and the remaining 4 survivors are kind of him. And you can kind of see that the first mate with those men had been arguing with Captain Stein and the 2 that are backing him up. But also, on the side of the first mates and his friends, are 3 hands of the Ecclesia and 4 bandit men and women that you see are all sporting blue sashes.
Uh-oh.
Kind of woven between all of them are several of the barrels that used to be in the hold before, containing that powder that you guys just used on Halsey's corpse. The first mate, at seeing you guys board the ship, looks very surprised to see you guys. And he suddenly looks very, very nervous. Thanks for listening to this episode of Party in Peril. If you liked this episode, please share it with your friends or digifriends on social media and use the hashtag NerdSloth so we can thank you for your support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, give us a rating, all those things that can help out the show. It's like rolling a nat 20 every time. See you next episode. Presented by NerdSloth.
A place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, catch us on YouTube and Twitch or visit us at nerdsloth.com.